you're doing well. You're having a nice Easter. And so today, basically, we're going to be fairly wishy-washy and a little bit uncertain and directionless because we're Easter Monday, and the banks are closed, and it's going to be thin volume. So I think for me personally, I'm not going to be opening any trade today, and I'm going to come back tomorrow. I think just to be on the safe side. The dollar is wishy-washy right now. We're not moving at all on the dollar. At least we weren't anyway 10 minutes ago. But the yen is gaining ground, which is something that we pointed out in Discord. So I'm wondering whether or not we might be seeing some kind of risk event potentially. We've got the Chinese Taiwan issue, and it looked quite legit. It looked quite scary. So could be something brewing. VIX is pumping as well, and the US yields rose. All right, so these are risk-off signs for today, and I think because the thin liquid conditions and that risk-off scenario brewing, I think it might just be better to sit on the hands. And there won't be any Patreon video today because of that. We'll do a Patreon video tomorrow, and we can look at some setup using the stop loss clusters and the ATR and the pivots. And then we can, get some setups and get some profits and some buy and sell scenarios using the SLCs. But I think today we won't be doing a Patreon video. We'll just do this risk appetite video here. So gold is interesting because we made a punishment zone which is now holding. You can see how well it respected it. It's very spooky. Did probe ever so slightly above. I think very, very slightly. That yeah, it's less than like $1. It's a very very slight break off that. You can see it respected it, just had to probe ever so slightly above. If you can see that little wick, so it showed it was quite good. These are accurate, these zones, they're very powerful, and we've fallen since. So not really a surprise that we see this fall because we made a zone above. Okay. Now, potentially they're going to sell it, and I think if we do, it's going to occur about in the afternoon, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, maybe even 4 o'clock in the afternoon. See how we're looking at the time and the flow, and if they do continue to sell it, then we're going to get the buy around about 1 o'clock, maybe 2, 3, 4 o'clock today in the afternoon. So, and then we'll look at this as a, we'll look at that for support. Now, interestingly, with the US indices, we're slightly sideways, looking a little bit negative, bearish. Now, however, on the other side is DAX is looking quite positive, in so much that they really sold it. So I'll show you DAX straight away, and I think what might happen. Right, so the cross under, it's then telling us that they've sold it. It went under the moving average, and so we got the buy. Because of that, we can potentially break this punishment zone, but we can see how it's currently holding because they've gone long, right? So that's currently still holding, but if they sell it, then we'll make a zone below. In fact, we can make a zone below. Where are we looking? There, isn't it? So here. All right, so basically we created the support because they've sold it, right? So yeah, so basically we might zigzag and flip-flop, but really we probably can break that resistance and springboard off it for for a little bit of a rally. And so that's that. So be careful. So that's currently made a buy, but however, if we look at the US indices, they're not looking as pretty. It's quite sideways. Oh no, they sold it. All right, so we're going to get the buy. We're getting a buy on S&P. I didn't think they were going to sell it, but of course, well, they did, didn't they? And now we got the crossover. So we're going to possibly challenge this box, and this could be a support box as well. Now, admittedly, they went long, so therefore create a resistance. But if they're going to sell it in the same box, we're going to get a zone within a zone. So it's going to be quite mixed. If they sell it even more, then we'll break above. Then we'll have to challenge this. Then 4139 is going to be like the level to monitor, and then we can go higher. So be careful. It's worth noting that. So It's a good job I did the video at this time because we caught that crossover, right? So it might follow DAX because on DAX they really sold it. It might do the same. And it could be this risk event is a ruse in order to get them to sell, right? So got to be careful. US 30. And like I say, no Patreon video today because we're a little bit undecided and directionless, sideways there. There's not really a signal that we can create from that. So S&P is off note. They sold it. DAX had sold it. On US 30, they're just sideways. And so that's it. I guess I'll wrap up now, and then we can look at some setups tomorrow. And I think it's probably a wise thing to do because if we look at the SLCs and the ATRs and the pivots, sometimes it feels like we're forcing the trade, and today isn't really the day to be forcing the trade because we've got thin volumes and illiquid conditions, and also a lot of uncertainty with risk as well. But it looks like S&P is actually, we might rally, right? Yeah, they sold, haven't they? So I think we'll possibly come up there now, 4119, and this is going to be a challenge overhead. So normal service tomorrow, and we'll do the Patreon video as normal, and this video will just have to suffice, and hopefully it was helpful. Have a good Easter Monday, and we'll be back tomorrow properly, and then we can look at some setups using this and the SLCs as well. So have a good day, and I'll speak to you guys soon.